Dan from H Valley Tools, and today we're going to talk about dust collection. So the thing that is the most frustrating thing about dust collection are honestly the fittings. So you have a lot of 4-inch connection ports in the back of a planer and a table saw. Then you have some smaller 2.5-inch ports and a router table coming out of your shop vac. And it gets really frustrating to try to fit all of these things into the right hose, especially when you're getting started off. So you might start off with a shop vac, and then after a while, you get upgraded to the bigger collector. That's also available in store. But the thing is, when you're starting out especially, you might have one collector with a hose, maybe even two around the shop, and you're going to have to move that hose from machine to machine as you're using it. Not everyone is set up to have full ducting in their shop where they have drops for every single machine. And with that, then you need blast gates, and you need to isolate the path where the air is flowing and everything. This is going to make things a lot easier. It's going to be a lot faster, and it's a lot more airtight than something that you would just come up with on your own. So what we're talking about today is these magnetic fit dust collection fittings. So the great thing about these is that it comes in two halves, obviously. This is for the 4-inch connection. So the one side, on the port side, you have all these rare earth magnets around the outside. They're very, very strong. This is a super durable, hard plastic, typical of all the stuff that you'd see on H Valley Tools now. And on this side, it's not just the same magnets like this. It's actually an entire ring of magnet. So you don't have to line them up perfectly. You literally just kind of get them close together, and it fits very securely. This is airtight. This is air sealed. You're not losing any suction on this, which is important for maybe a dust collector that's a little bit undersized that you're just kind of using in the time being, or even a more permanent solution. So if you have drops to all your machines and you have PVC pipe or whatever it is all the way, right hovering above the machine, and you just need that flex hose to go down to the port, these are great for that. Because these don't necessarily have to be a temporary solution that you take it apart and move to machine. This could be kind of a semi-permanent solution. The pack like this comes with the port side, the tool side, and two of these connectors. So the hose is just going to slide right over it like this. Little screwdriver. You tighten them down, you're good to go. That's what this pack comes with. You could also imagine that you don't always need both sides of this. So if you are going to put this on the collector and then you're going to go to multiple tools, you don't want to have to move the entire connector itself. So you can have multiple of these and buy these individually, which is also really nice. So so say you're doing something like this. You have this on the hose. You can have the port side on the back of your table saw. You can have the port side on the back of your planer, on the underside of your joiner, wherever, and have these all positioned. And say you're done using your joiner, you want to move to the planer, you pop this off, pop it onto the other one, and you're good to go. It is a lot better than other solutions that people come up with on their own. A lot of people will just use PVC pipe and just screw it together. That's fine, it works. You definitely are losing suction unless you tape it. If you tape it over the screws, now it's not something easily removable or movable. It's kind of annoying. And the more tools you get in your shop, and the more things you want dust collection for, the more pain that becomes. So if you're connecting this system to a dust collector with a 4-inch inlet, a lot of times, so this is pretty much exactly 4 inches. So you get to a point where you have that 4-inch to 4-inch, and how do you get those together? We have a sleeve. All it is, 4-inch sleeve is slightly larger than that 4-inch outer diameter. So slides onto there, and if you imagine that this is kind of the inlet port of the dust collector, it slides right in there, and you're honestly good to go. So if you don't want to spend the time to screw down this kind of clamp, you have the ones with these little butterfly clamps. You can just twist those by hand. You want to go to the next level, which is even easier, just a little squeeze clamp. This you just kind of slide on there and slide off, All these available at hvalleytools.com. And also for the smaller things, so for the 2.5 inch port, so for your router table, for the fence on the router table, or for, honestly, you can even hook this up to some of those multi-connectors if you're doing hand tools, if you're doing a handheld router or a handheld sander or whatever it might be, and you want the 2.5 inch port, you could use this. So you're still going from your 4-inch connection from your dust collector all the way down to the 2.5 inch, and you're good to go. Same thing where they have the little butterfly connectors. And honestly, the more tools you have, the more this is going to show its value. And it's totally worth it because that's literally it. So they're available at hvalleytools.com. They're available in store. Come in today.